are the little molds that I'm going to pour resin in to put on these stemless wine glasses, but I am going to paint some mica powder in here first to color the mold, and then I'm going to pour my resin. I want to get some gold in here, in his tail especially.
So I'm going to be honest and, full disclosure here. A lot of times I do forget to talk during my videos about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to do a voiceover. All the links that I'm going to be talking about are in the description. So what I'm doing here, I'm just taking some little paintbrushes, thin paintbrushes, and I'm taking mica powder and I'm brushing it onto these molds in little, specific areas like gold around the spine and the tail, the white along the belly, and then I'm going to take the this aqua and I'm going to highlight his little belly bands, I don't know what you call them, his eyeball, his ears, and then I'm going to use also on the turtle, I'm going to use all 3 of these mica powders in specific areas. Now all the links are in the description, but I'm using all of these all of these mica powders. I can't talk today. All these mica powders are from Sesso. It's Sesso Gold, Sesso Silver White, and then my favorite is the Sesso Aqua. Make sure you put your lids back on when you're done so you don't have any accidents. Not that that's ever happened to me, of course.
So you know how you can find out how much a mold holds. Sometimes it'll be listed, but I pour water in a mold and then I get a little medicine cup and just kind of.
So each turtle holds 10 milliliters, and I'm just going to assume that the seahorses are also 10 milliliters. So I'm mixing up 40 milliliters total of KSRESIN liquidy split. 40 milliliters ends up being a little bit too much, but that is okay. I can use it for other things.
Okay. So I'm using the KSRESIN liquidy split, and that way after about 2 hours I could probably go ahead and demold and then be able to put them on the glasses so that they harden on the glass. And I'm going to pour very slowly.
Now this part definitely needs to be speeded up because it is literally the most boring footage of me just pouring resin on molds and trying to get it to level out, which it doesn't want to do. And so moving it around and jiggling it. I just don't want to pour a very thick layer on these turtles because I don't want the turtles to be really, really thick. And then the seahorses, just trying to get the resin into the tail was a very challenging job. But I was just patient and took my time and tried not to overfill it too much. Now, I did have to take a little stick towards the end. I did have a little bit of leftover resin, so I ended up pouring it into those little seahorses, and then I took a little popsicle stick there to even it out, and then just took a toothpick. Actually, I think this is a cocktail toothpick, and just evened it out a little bit. And I had a little bit too much in that one, so I sort of scrape it off. Whenever I'm mixing up resin, I always have an extra mold just to use if I end up having leftover resin, which I did in this case. So 40 milliliters was a little bit too much resin for the 2 seahorses and the 2 turtles. So I'm just using it all up on these other little molds that I can use on another project.
So these are cured, but still soft. And what I can do now is put them on my glasses. Well, these are interesting. They won't stay put. So I think I want to put the seahorses on the taller glasses, maybe, and then put the turtles on here. do that. So all I'm going to do is demold these. I think I should be able to, yeah, see they're still really bendy. But I should be able to get these out without any problem. There we go. They're very bendy. And just pinch that off, just like that. Put it on the glass and then just let it form to the glass, and then when it's fully cured, it'll take the exact shape that I need. Let's do this next one. I think I should do maybe one seahorse and then one turtle. That'll look cute. Okay, see if I can get this out. There we go. Trying to get my fingerprints on it. There we go. It's cute. Just snip that off. Now I'll top coat that with resin so I can shine it back up. That will turn out just fine. Let's try to clean that up a little bit. Really see the detail. Make sure it's pressed down as much as possible. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're just going to wait for those to cure. I want to use my pool noodles. I think I need to just support these a little bit. Because if I put, I think they're just going to, yeah, see, they're going to flop around too much. So I just use pieces of pool noodle. Be careful not to put a lot of pressure on the glass if your glass is really thin. And see how I've just used a little piece right there. And I'm going to use another smaller piece just down in the other side. Just like that. And this one doesn't seem to be as bad, but I still am going, actually this one may not be that bad. Hold on, I got an idea. If I put it in first, no, that's not gonna work. There we go. That should be good. And then I've used rubber shelf liner on my Turner arm itself. And then just gonna pop it on there like that. Okay. Okay. And now the same for this set.
I attach the third and fourth glasses the same way onto my cup turner, and then I just take alcohol and a paper towel and I wipe them clean because I have been handling them a good bit with my hands. And now it's time for resin, and I want to make a couple of molds, so I'm going to be mixing up 60 milliliters of KSRESIN liquidy split.
Cool. All right, and I'm going to use this aqua mica powder by Sesso, and that's probably a quarter teaspoon. And I just used the end of a paintbrush. I'm going to mix that up really well. Whenever you're working with mica powder or any colorant, but especially mica powder, you want to make sure you really stir it in there and break up any dry spots. And I want this to be kind of translucent, so that's why I'm only using a little bit. Okay. All right. So I am going to use a paintbrush, but before I set my tumbler going, I'm going to paint over, boy, this brush, I don't know about this brush. Brush is kind of stiff. I need a soft brush. Probably wonky, but all right, so I'm going to brush over these guys first, just to get good coverage on the animals. And the brush just allows me to get into all those crevices. And really be even, okay? Now I'm going to resin all the way to the top. Actually, I think I am on these. Just barely. It's a really thin layer at the top. It is the barest of layers that I have on this right now. But don't worry, more is coming. This is really like, almost like a skim coat. This is going to be a skim coat on these glasses. Now I did mix up more than I need on the glasses because I'm going to be using this resin on a couple molds too. All right. All right, so let's turn this on, get it turning in the right direction. There we go.
I thought that using this paintbrush would be a little bit more efficient, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't beneficial at all to use the brush, other than really giving me a very even line at the top. I was able to take the resin pretty much all the way to the top, which I don't usually do because it's kind of messy and I get leakage, but it really didn't benefit me much at all to use the brush, other than adding the resin on top of the sea animals. That definitely was a nice plus, because I was able to get into all the cracks and crevices in where the molds were on top of the glass. So that was beneficial, but I definitely am not going to be using a paintbrush again. If I do this, well, I will do this again, but I'm not going to use a paintbrush again to apply the resin on the glass. There was just no benefit in it. I'm getting all the resin that I can out of the cup and then just putting some heat on it with my heat gun, low heat, high air, just to pop the bubbles. I'm not interested in moving the resin. I'm just popping bubbles.
Let's just let that go.
I let these turn on my turner overnight, and look at how cute these turned out. I am absolutely thrilled. So it's a matching set of two. Each set has a turtle, and look how close that is to my little sea glass lamp. So each set has a turtle and then a seahorse, and look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love. So, and then the bigger set, so they're not all four matching. I had some smaller glasses, and then I had some of the regular 20-ounce stemless wine glasses. I am absolutely in love with this method. It's not the first time I've done it, and it won't be the last. And I tell you, these are going to fly off the shelf at my next art show. Toodles!